developing pressure sore that's starting. So I haven't had one in quite a while. Hopefully this one doesn't get much worse than it is right now. It's just very, very early stages. So I think I caught it early. Sorry, I'm just gonna give it just another second. For people to come in and out, and my dogs to not be so hyper. Go. Alright, well, I'm just gonna start getting into it because we don't have too many people coming in yet, and people will just end up watching later. And I'm kind of a little tired anyways, so we'll just do a quicker, just short, let you guys give an update even, and just let you guys know what is going on. So yeah, the reason why I'm doing pressure sores for this discussion, because one, they're super important and part of your life for sure. If you're a spinal cord injury, you're gonna have to deal with pressure sores. It's part of your life, and it always will be. You always have to be able to manage them and watch out for them. So yeah, I just noticed yesterday that I do have on my left hip, I'm starting to get a slight sore. It's red, and I can tell it's like the developing points of a sore. And I haven't had a sore in a couple of years actually. So I usually do pretty well with managing them, with just doing, enough transfers, being active enough to where I'm never sitting too long in one spot. So I haven't had too many sores, and it hasn't been too big of an issue. But this one I actually got from sleeping. Hi Janet, how you doing? So yeah, a few more people are starting to get in here now. So just to revisit, I'm going to be talking about pressure sores. And the reason is because I just started to get one. So I'm keeping things kind of, the discussion topics relevant to what's going on in my life, and I'm sure some of you guys are the same issues, either right now, or you have dealt with them, or you will have to deal with them. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen my pressure sore video, I have I have a video I talked about what I do to kind of avoid them. And one is, I use a Roho cushion, which I have actually like a hybrid Roho cushion. It's their Nexus Spirit cushion, which is foam around the outside, so it's a lot easier to transfer. But it has the Roho air cells, like where my tailbone is, the main part of my butt. And anything Roho is good. Obviously, if you're a quad or anybody just doesn't move a lot or transfer a lot, do a lot of weight distribution and stuff, you want, or you need the Roho for sure for that weight distribution. And actually the reason I ended up getting my sore wasn't from sitting in my chair too much, or not, just being, it's not on the under part of my butt, it's more on my side. And that's actually because from sleeping. I've been on my bed. What I normally do, hey Dustin, what's up, brother? Glad you can make it. So what I normally do for nighttime, which I discussed this in my pressure sore video, I tend to go to bed flat. When I start laying down flat on my back, which doesn't last very long, maybe like an hour, if that, a lot of nights, and I'll end up spasming and kicking up. Oh, we got somebody else. You're healing from one of your leg from a boot you wear at night? Yeah, see, at night, that's bed. Bed sores, they call them that for a reason, because you're more likely in bed, because a lot of us spend decent amount of time in bed, and it's kind of harder to move around in bed. It's definitely harder, for, I can't do like a lift or transfer, I can't fully clear my butt up. I can roll on my stomach or sides and stuff, but so my issue is right now, so I usually, like I was saying a second ago, I go to bed flat, and I usually kick up and roll to my side, which usually is my left side, because I tend to just kind of lean my head that way, and whatever way I'm leaning my head, my body usually goes. I've just gotten really used to sleeping on my left side. It's just a little more comfortable. I tend to sleep better with less spasms. I don't know, just over the years, I've more and more started to favor that side. So I'm constantly laying on this side, and a lot of times I've actually been sleeping better lately these last couple months, which I'm gonna make a video of some of the things I've been doing to get better rest. The only problem with getting better rest and sleeping a little better is I'm spending more time when I'm not waking up very early, so I'm spending more time on my side. So I'm just stuck there on my left, on my hip, and just I end up being lazy, not waking, or even when I do wake up, sometimes I kind of half wake up, and if it's not easy to do the rollover to my other side, which is normally what I used to always just start flat, end up on my left or right. It would vary a lot, and then after a few hours, I would usually kind of wake up, spasm, roll over, and I'd roll a few times during the night. But I've lately gotten, I guess, lazy, or just I don't know, just sleeping a little more soundly. So I'm spending a lot of time on my left side, and sometimes I end up spending like a full 6 hours or more on my left without ever realizing or like attempting to roll over to my other side. And a lot of times lately, when I've been on my right side, I tend to have more spasms, and they'll kick out, and I'll end up waking up uncomfortable and just like out of tiredness and whatever, just it's easier just to go back to my left. So I just go with what's easy, and I've been doing that a lot the last couple months, and it started to catch up with me at this point now. So now I have to, like last night, after noticing it yesterday, I tried to spend the entire night on my right side, which wasn't as great of a night to sleep. I don't know what it is. My body I just don't sleep as well on that side. But I'm gonna have to suck it up and get used to it and do it for a while and go back to weight, being able to roll every couple hours, because you really don't want to be stuck in one position for too long. Like if you're there for 6 to 8 hours, chances are you're gonna end up developing sores at some point in time. That's just the crappy thing about it. We don't have great circulation usually. That's a big thing with spinal cord injuries. I know definitely with quads. I assume with paras too, your legs aren't, you don't have very good circulation and stuff. So always gonna have that. And as soon as blood gets cut off to a certain area for long enough, the skin dies, and it'll break down, and you'll end up with sores, and you definitely don't want to do that. So some of the things like that I'm going to be doing, and things that you should try to do for pressure sores, obviously, is avoid putting pressure on those areas. So like for me right now, since it's on my left hip, I'm going to be spending the next several weeks or more solely sleeping on my right hip, basically, or not solely. I still have to go back and forth, because if I overdo it and end up spending way too much time on my right, I end up with the same problem on my right hip. So it's one of those things, you have to find that fine balance. You really do. And I've been pretty good with that most of my spinal cord injury career. But it's just, as I'm getting older, I guess the laziness at night, I've been just sleeping a little more. So yeah. Any of you guys also dealing with, I know you said you were dealing with one on your leg from wearing a boot at night. Yeah, if you have to wear any type of like boots or equipment or anything like that anything has hard surfaces, you really got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Always be careful to avoid anything like that right up against your skin for too long. Like if it leaves a little bit of a red mark and indent, and you think, oh, it's not too bad or whatever, it's it's not for too long, that could end up catching up to you. You just gotta know to avoid that for too long, for sure. Hey Gregors, how you doing? I'm doing good. How you doing? Good to see everybody coming in now and stuff. If you guys missed the beginning, sorry about that. I try to go back and watch. Basically, I'm just talking about what's going on with my pressure sore, my bed sore that I have right now on my left hip. So yeah, I've been trying to avoid sitting too long, and then I've even just sitting. That's the other thing too. I actually have to get a new chair at some point too soon, and I was warned about this a couple weeks ago by my friend's wife, who she mentioned because my hips do make contact with my side guards in my chair, which it's light contact, and there's a little gap there, but depending on you know, if I get in a little bit to one side, a little to the other, I can be touching the one side. And she told me to watch that, watch that, watch that. And I was like, yeah, I am. I do watch that. I do. And that's what, you know, I always do watch my hips. I try to pay attention. You always pay attention to points you know you might be prone to having sores. And if you can't see them, you know, have your caregiver, whoever, tell somebody to look at them. If it's your butt, whatever, you know, don't be shy about having people look, because you don't want to end up with an open wound anywhere. So always be careful. Always be checking for that kind of stuff. So I've been I've been trying to avoid a lot of time in the chair, just the last couple of days, or just in the couch. And I've been just going back and forth, up and down a lot, which hopefully I'm not scraping on the transfers, but I don't think I am. I usually clear pretty well, but yeah, I don't know. You guys, any other questions? I didn't really have as big of a game plan coming in today. I didn't make a bunch of bullet points I wanted to go over. Sorry about that. I was just a little bit tired. Yeah, I really didn't sleep well last night, trying to sleep on my right the whole night. um, so yeah, let me see. Was there anything else in the chat? Let me just double click on that. See, no, not really. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. My friend Dustin here that was in the chat here, I don't know if you're still in here, Dustin, but he's somebody who's a little bit newer injury and just started figuring out how to do the transfer, that like the same style like elbow transfer that I do. So stoked about that for him. I hope it's still going well. So yeah, I don't know. Mason, there you go. You can't sleep while on my side. So yeah, dude, sleeping is hard on either side or anything like that. And Dustin, I saw you just type something. I'll just have to check right in a second. But yeah, Mason, that's it's hard to find one thing that is comfortable. Like, so for me, I finally found that on my left, like kind of rolled, you know, in like the fetal position on my left, I've actually found I sleep pretty well in that position. But for some reason, not as well on the right, not as well if I'm flat on my back, really hard on my stomach. Because I did have a sore, the last time I had a sore on my butt a couple years back, like 2.5, 3 years ago. I'd spent several nights, you know, I spent a couple weeks where I just slept on my stomach, which was really, really hard with my spasticity too. Like, so I would end up usually kind of my knees under me and stuff. So yeah, let me see, Dustin, sorry. Oh, Dustin, you got one right now too on your tailbone? You got in the hospital, bummer, man. 13 centimeters wide, oh my God. Used Aquacel to heal it, and now it's only 5 centimeters long. That's cool. So Aquacel, just so you guys know, Dustin, yeah, from 13 centimeters, that is massive. To just 5 definitely works. And yeah, that's really cool. So if any of you guys want to check that out, it's called Aquacel. I actually haven't really used a lot of different. All I use, I have a couple just like things from the hospital, like wound care things, but they're just really, yeah, I don't know. It's been quite a while since I've had a bigger like wound open. What cushion or padding on your feet to prevent pressure sores? I actually don't use anything on my feet to prevent pressure sores. I luckily haven't had too big of an issue with that. I do get a little on my outside of my left foot. There's a little spot in my shoe that rubs, and if I wear my shoes for too long, I can tell it's kind of red, and I have to be really careful about that. So like I do watch out for that. But at night, yeah, I used to do a large body pillow in between my legs to keep, you know, everything separated, because a regular standard pillow, I spasm so much, I just spit the little pillows out like in a matter of, I don't know, not even an hour. So I needed to use like a larger body pillow, because being longer, it would stay in there a little better, keep it between my legs. And that kind of did also end up usually blocking between my ankles. but I haven't done that even in years, and I've just been honestly lucky enough to, I guess, I probably should, avoid it, but I do move around quite a bit, and I get a lot of spasms and stuff. So I guess they don't stay long. Still, if they are pressing against each other or on points, and I don't have anything hard besides my wheelchair that's near the bed or that I can kick her on there, and the wheelchair, my chair, I try to block with that body pillow I used to use between my legs. I now just sort of put on the side to block my chair from me kicking it. Uh, um, Let me see here. Gregor's. Yeah, so that's pretty much. Yeah, that's it for sleeping. Yeah, I don't really do anything, and I more have an issue during the day with my shoes versus sleeping. And I've tried a couple different shoes, which some are better than others that I have, but usually any pair of shoes I wear like that, I just have a bony point on the side that really gets wear. Greetings, Brent, or Brett. No, Brent Light Studios. Oh, right on. What's your favorite wheelchair cushion? So I've been using the same cushion for quite a while, which has just been the Roho Nexus Spirit. I started on Roho when I was first out of the hospital, but I couldn't transfer with the regular all air cell Rohos. It's like impossible, honestly, because you go to push in it and it just sinks, and it's really hard. So with the Nexus Spirit, that's just a way easier for transferring, and you still get the benefits of the padded cell, under your butt where most of the main pressure is. Scott, 7 years into a C5 break. And you're lucky not to have one. Yeah, for sure. That's good. Really, really good not to have one. Congratulations on that. I don't have any Smith's medication. Bike. Oh, you use an FPS bike to keep mass on your ass. So it's not. That's smart. Yeah, using like an exercise bike, and I'm sure. Yeah, any meat or anything down there probably helps for sure. C5 veggie. I heard people say Pepto-Bismol works. Is it an ulcer like type? So are you saying to put Pepto-Bismol on the wound, like it's an ulcer in your stomach, but and also like an open wound? Yeah, C5 veggie. I don't know if that's what you were saying or not, but that's crazy if that works. I don't know if any of you guys have also heard of that, but I haven't really heard of that. Yeah, rub it in. Okay, so C5 veggie says that you can rub Pepto-Bismol into the wound because, like treating an ulcer in your stomach, it's like it is. They do they are pressure ulcers. That's what they call them, or pressure sores. But that's I'll have to look that up and check that out. That's interesting. I know I've used in the past because it's honestly been quite a while since I've had an open wound, but I know I can't remember what they're called, but like new skin type of stuff, like it was like basically a plastic almost type of skin cover that's sealed completely. You put ointment or something on underneath, which I just have like just a skin healing, like it honestly just says skin heal. I should have grabbed it. But yeah, I just put that under one of those. So that's what I did years ago when I had them before. Yeah, Tegaderm patches. Yeah, so the bandage. Yeah, that's what it was. Tegaderm. It's something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, they were just those patches. Like you peel and like had sticky around the edges, and it was just like a kind of like a pliable membrane skin sort of thing to cover the open wound. But since I've had to use one of those, it's been quite a while. I have been really fortunate with with sores and stuff. Just trying, mainly because I do try to stay on top of it. You know, I know if I've been sitting too long, I know, you know, I gotta move, I gotta do something, I gotta shift weight, and I've just always been pretty good about trying to do that. I'm just getting lazier now, I guess, at night, and need to get back on top of that though, so I can start, yeah, shifting weight every few hours. Because my bed is pretty soft. It's a memory foam. I've had several people ask about that too. So it is just like it's a standard, it's a Serta memory foam, one of their like lines, and it's like the medium firmness. So it's not, you know, it's the really soft ones are too soft, and you kind of like, I feel like I would sink into them, like roll them, be stuck into a little pit, and then obviously, you know, you don't want to go too firm. So I went with the medium ones. Grigger's somewhat of an unusual question. Yeah, go for it, Dustin. Oh, when did I first notice? So I just noticed it yesterday. I actually just noticed it yesterday in the morning. So I was, yeah, and I'm sure it's been happening over the last few days, or you know, the last week or so. Because over the last week is when I know, thinking about it, like I've been sleeping better for like a month now, but I've been extra lazy the last couple weeks, where I've just felt really comfortable. I'm just laying there. It seems fine. So I just end up laying there and sticking it out, which isn't smart. You know, I gotta know I've been there for too long, and it's time to roll. You know, it's time to move over. Sometimes it's not fun to do that stuff. You don't want to be kind of like waking up and rolling over at, you know, 3 in the morning, but it is a necessity. So something that you don't want to not do, because the consequences can be much worse than you know, anything else. So yeah, I don't know, you guys have any other questions or stuff? I was gonna keep this one a little shorter because yeah, well, also I don't want to be in a chair super long. I've been doing like an hour in, hour out all day. Just constantly keeping myself active and moving. And then even when I've been sitting here before this, I'm trying to do, you know, I got my head down low and stuff. I'm not doing that for the video here. I'll keep my head up for the next few minutes. But yeah, any other questions about anything else you guys have? Sorry, I do have a video for my 5K that I did that I'm working on. I just had some technical difficulties, but it should be up in the next couple days if you guys want to check that out soon. And I do have a little pressure sore video if you guys haven't seen it already. Just how to avoid pressure sores, I think I called it. And it's just a shorter video, basically of me explaining in more detail like all the things I do in my chair and in bed every night to avoid getting sores. So, do I cook? Not really. I have a caregiver that does most of my cooking. I do a lot. He does a lot of meal prep stuff for me. So he'll cook up a bunch of chicken and rice and have like 3 dinners all made for me, and just in Tupperware containers, all with just chicken and rice. Stack them in my refrigerator, and then I'll just eat them for the next 3 nights. And then so yeah, I'm just able to pull them out, you know, heat them up. Like, so basically my cooking involves heating it up and grabbing, like, you know, I butter some bread sometimes. Open my can of Coke, you know, like little stuff like that, which I actually am planning to make a video of, just to show how I do my meal prep. But I don't do much cooking. I'm sure I could do if I wanted to, or if I was better at it. But I got hurt when I just had turned 21. I didn't have much cooking skills then, and haven't really developed them over the last years of being in the chair either. So maybe cooking classes would be not a bad idea. Let me see, was there anything else? No, that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, like Gregor's, I don't know if you said you have an unusual question. If you want, go for it and ask it real quick. If not, you can email me or whatever. Yeah, I'll answer you guys' questions, or yeah, if you guys need any advice or help or anything, let me know. I'm definitely always here. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys all later. Like I said, video coming in the next couple of days. I'm just trying to finish editing, and live to roll, everybody. Let's get a fist bump. Take it easy, guys.